Everyone, hi, a very good evening. This is Souradeep. Can you please let me know if I am audible to all of you? Thanks. Thanks. So, a very good evening. So, the market has been very range bound of late, but today I will start from a macro data point rather than from the market. Okay. Now, what you are looking at right now, that US Consumer Price Index CPI year on year. Now, yesterday's reading, as you can see, came at 7.5. Now, see, I have shown max data, and that's why you can see that this reading of 7.5 was last visible in the 1982. Okay, this level was visible in 1982. So you can understand the kind of inflation US is facing right now. That the kind of inflation it has not seen in last 40 years. Okay, this is quite unprecedented. Now, let us look at a very important thing. This is the US government bond yield. Okay. Now, if I go back to 1982 in this monthly chart, what I will see is that, see, in 1982, uh, the interest rate was quite high. As you can see, the interest rate at that time was around 12, 13, 14%. Okay. So you can understand, if the inflation was 7.5% at that point of time, the interest rate was quite high. So for the savers, okay, for the savers, if you see, it was quite good that they were getting more than inflation. But over the period of time, what the all the countries have done this, and in India also, interest rate has fallen, and this has actually been done to actually uh, take growth into the economy, and that is why, to promote growth into the economy, the interest rates have fallen, and the inflation right now is at 40 years high level. If I look at the period just before, in this chart, the interest rate chart, if I just before the COVID, US interest rate was around 2%, and or 1.8, 1.9% just before COVID. During COVID, 10-year interest rate dropped temporarily to 0.39, but it was generally for some time in the 0.5, 0.6, and now it is back to 2%. Now, US, this is the market determined interest rate. Okay. The actual interest rate by the central bank has not gone up. So it is quite expected that the central bank should be hawkish due to the rise of inflation and raise the interest rate. When interest rate goes up, obviously there is slowdown in economy. Why? Because if the interest rate is higher, it is more expensive to buy home, it is more expensive to buy car, and similarly for the businesses who are running on debt, the interest payment bill is higher. So the cash flow to the shareholders is little bit lower, and that is why everybody fears the rise in interest rate. Now, why this inflation is high? You have to look at the market. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah. So this is the copper future. Okay. Or let me go back to this chart only and explain. This is the aluminium future. Okay. And I'm going to the monthly aluminium future. So you will find that we are at lifetime high in aluminium. Copper, if I'm going for futures only, this copper future, so we are close to lifetime high in copper. Okay. Look at lead, that is not much used. Okay. Look at zinc futures. You will find that, okay, zinc is not near the peak level, but quite high zinc futures are. Okay. If I'm talking about nickel futures, at lifetime high due to the EV transition. Okay, so all commodities, even the crude oil futures, if you see, uh, in Indian terms, it is at the high level. And if I go to the US crude oil, NYMEX crude oil, still we are at a very elevated level. Okay, from the 1950s, and this is due to the policies of the Joe Biden, specifically that US production has come down, and OPEC is not deliberately not producing much oil, so that there is always less of supply, and that's why prices keep on going higher. So as I said you that if it stays above 93, that it can go to 100, 506, that I have already told you, and possibly it is going towards that level only. So there is a kind of crisis in terms of commodities, and not only this kind of commodities. If you see agri commodities also, if you see the agri commodities corn future, you will find that we are at very elevated levels. So agri commodities are also at very, so inflation is very high in India also. When we go to market, we understand that, and this is a global thing, that inflation is very high. So the interest rate will go up. Now there is a divergence. What is the divergence? The RBI here chose to promote growth and say that it was very dovish. What happened on Thursday, it was very dovish. Shaktikanta Das ji said, and he did not give a grim outlook where he will raise interest. Now, this has some macroeconomic implication. If the global interest rate rise and India does not raise the interest rate, there would be global implication in terms of rupee dollar. I won't go into that. But what it did is that US Indian bond yield from close to a level of 6.93 for this week closed quite lower, 6.70. Now, is this sustainable? I don't know. I'm not a macroeconomist, but this is a quite bizarre scenario that I am looking, where the global interest rate, global inflation is going up, and Indian central bank is not becoming that hawkish. I have not, in my career, I have not seen this kind of a scenario. So I am not able to judge that what will happen. But globally, if I look at the charts, okay, globally, if I look at the charts, just a second. Yeah, globally, if I look at these charts, so this is the Dow Jones, and Dow Jones, after pulling back to the 61.8% of last fall, if you can see, 61.8%, there was a pullback, then there was a fall, then there is a pullback, then there is a fall. So it has completely become range bound. RSI is at the middle range. Okay. If I talk about Nifty, if I talk about the Nifty, just a second, go to all Nifty 50 chart, and I will go to the day weekly chart here. So you can see only dojis are being formed. If I go to the daily chart and in the auto mode, very range bound. And this is likely to be the same until and unless UP elections is so here it is very difficult to predict what kind of candle you will see the next day. It can be on the upside, or it can be very well on the downside. So it is very difficult to predict this kind of a market. If I go to Bank Nifty, it is relatively bullish. Okay, it is relatively bullish, you can see, but still in a very tight range. So this kind of market cannot be traded. Only thing you can do is that you can sell the strike the this 39,500 call, and on the lower side maybe 38,000 put, and try to eat out the premium. Obviously there is risk overnight, but otherwise it is very difficult to trade this kind of market. And No, because see, the next candle can be bullish also, next candle can be bearish also. I don't know. And until and unless UP elections are over, the market will be like this. And I stick to my predictions or my understanding of the market that if BJP loses UP, and that is why I have asked everybody to be hedged properly. So if BJP by chance loses UP, this we may see very soon 15,459, and possibly this we may see 12,400 kind of a level, or 12,800 kind of a level we may see within 3-4 months if BJP loses UP. And that is why in my every session I repeat this, that if I go to the NSE.com, I am repeating this again and again as so that if someone is joining afresh in this session, they can also take advantage of this. Okay, so those who have been joining my session from our session in the past, they know. Okay, so going to the option chain and going to the 31st March. Okay, now all of you remember on the 14th March when this put was around 230, 14th of Jan, when this put was around 230, I asked all of you to buy this put. Why I asked all of you to buy this put? Because this put, if you see, is a kind of a was 230 and kind of a hedge. Now this has become very expensive. Last week also this was at 273, at 289. So if BJP loses UP, even if there is 1% chance, for every 8 lakh of your portfolio, you can buy this to hedge your portfolio. See, this would cross you around 13,000. Now that is 1.5% of your portfolio. This becomes completely zero if BJP wins UP and all the market is doing good, market goes up, this becomes zero. But this is like a term plan insurance cost. If you are a term plan insurance holder, you know that you don't get anything if you leave through the period, but this is just like an insurance cost. Okay, and that is why I have asked many times. Now regarding stocks, I don't have to discuss many things, because in the TMP also right now I am not discussing a lot of stocks, because it is not possible to discuss many stocks, because there are not much many stocks which are moving. Most of the breakouts are also failing. US dollar index, I don't know why the US dollar index is not going up in spite of uh, such fierce move in the US 10-year bond yield. I don't know why it is not going up. If I compare to the global scenario, see from the bottom, still Nifty, Bank Nifty, these are in among the all global indices. Still, we are at very high level. Okay, compared to the bottom, we are. These are the three best performing indices in the globe: Nifty, IT, Bank Nifty, then Nifty, and you can see all the next best performing index is this is TASI. This is actually the Saudi Arabian index, because the crude oil prices have gone up. And if you can see that this CAC and US indices are now coming down the pecking order, and they have not performed well. We have performed well, and we are staying at higher level, but uh, things can change if on 11th March there is a election post poll, there is a change of power. This can change and we can fall. Okay, now in the global market also, as I showed you, that it is very range bound, so it is very difficult to actually predict anything. So only thing that is that commodity prices are going up, that we can understand, but otherwise I really cannot predict about any stocks at this point, because things are so range bound, things are so jumbled out. I really don't have an idea. Just a second, I will open this. The metal stocks, given the metal rally can do good, I'm waiting for the breakout in VDL. Okay, Hindalco is also on the verge of breakout, not breaking out. Same with Nalco, same chart, National Aluminium, very similar chart on the verge of breakout. Okay, uh, yet not breaking out. Everything is on the verge of breakout, yet not broken out. Okay, Tata Steel, if I talk about, can break out above this 1250 kind of 1260 kind of level, but still you can say this can rally next week, given the kind of structure it had, but still not very convinced, to be honest, the way things are going on. The big boys, Reliance, has been in a very narrow range, not going up, not going down. If I talk about Infi, neither going up, neither going down, but near support. So someday they can rally. But presently, I really don't have any clear view about the market, because the market itself is a range bound and market is not showing. One stock I have a feel that may go up is this BSC. I have a feel. Another stock is SRF. I have a feel that it will go up. Okay, given the chart structure, it is again near mid Bollinger. I think these two stocks may do good given the kind of nature of these stocks. Another stock that I told everybody, and I earlier tweeted also, is this. This is going through this kind of a channel movement, and this is a very good stock. You can see. So if I go to the weekly chart, so you can see possibly Asian Paints can rally later. So this is the only thing uh, I really have to discuss. Yeah, one more thing. One gentleman requested me in the class, sir, how do you find out about the 5 period high EMA low EMA that I was using in Nifty? Okay, so I will show him. For him, I'm, and it is for everybody, I'm using this. I will take more questions today because don't have much to give. See, generally when the price is closing above this 5 period high EMA, this is, see, 5 period high EMA, source is not closed, and this is 5 period low EMA. Okay, now when price is generally closing above 5 period high EMA, I can see market have a steady bullish run, like here, and similarly when price generally is closing below 5 period low EMA on consistent basis, we have this kind of very strong fall, and you can see every day price is closing below 5 period low EMA. So this is about it. And when these things are there, the price is closing generally within these two bands, generally market is range bound, and that is the time you can one can actually look at selling options on the up and the downside, so the option premium can be eaten away. Only those things are working nowadays, nothing else is working. So I will like to take few questions here. You also gave LT. Yes, I also gave LT, but I don't know why LT uh, is not going up. Okay, LT is not going up. I gave LT also. I expected LT to bounce back from this 1860, 1870 level. It is not going up. Market is very range bound. Okay. View on NTPC. Okay. Very range bound. You can see RSI at the middle of the range, a little bit on the bullish, but very range bound at the mid Bollinger. Bollinger is horizontal. So you cannot say a little bit bullish because RSI is above 50. MACD is above this, but volume is coming down. It is a very range bound, no specific directional bias. See, it will be better if you ask me. Say, now I can see like hundreds of stock names pouring down. People are talking, asking me about stocks. I would rather be interested to give any specific ideas or give discuss any specific problems you have, because this is not the place where we give stock queries. If you are a stockage social member, you can if you can go here and ask your stock queries here. Okay, so if you are a stockage social member, you can ask your stock queries here. If you are a TMP member, you can ask your queries in the groups. Okay, so I won't be very happy to answer all these queries that you were putting here. I will be more interested to answer those questions which are method related. Okay, so I will pick and choose those kind of question. Sir, high and low EMA will applicable for everything, every time frame in every instrument it will be applicable. Okay, how to look at FII data when FI have increased position in index? Does that mean they have sold? I am not very much Mukesh Gupta ji, an expert on this. I think Vivek sir can take up this when he comes here. Okay, how would you take trades in this market and also stock selection? This is Amit Verma ji asking. So I am not giving many trades to my students in this market because it is very difficult. Apart from if you sell options of index, no other trades are working very well in this kind of environment, sir. Okay, just a second. During false rally, what could be the procedure to pick good stock? Sir, no stock is working. So the base thing is to avoid trading at this point of time. Every market is not suitable for trading with the same intensity, sir. So I am also showing a restraint in terms of what we are doing in the TMP at present. How to do sector analysis in the stockage? I think Chetan sir, Ratnadeep Aryaji, Chetan sir will take this question. Okay. Chetan sir, no, sorry, Vivek sir will take this question. What sector will perform in the near term? Okay, this is Chayan Ranjit ji is asking. Metal sector is one of the possible sector. Other all sectors are looking very tired right now and not showing any momentum. I am a government employee. Does daily 2 hours work in market good enough make me good money? Yes, if you can understand that market is having momentum, if you follow Vivek sir's model or my GS's model, Ganesh Kumar ji, even with the part-time approach, you can make good money. Which is your most preferred trading strategy, sir? Sir, it will depend on the market. Like in most market, GSS for me works very well. Okay, and apart from that, if in a present kind of market, obviously option selling will work very well. The index option selling. Okay. View on gold. Okay, this I should discuss because this is a asset class oriented question. I should discuss this. So again, I would be repeating the same view on gold that I have been repeating for several times. So if I view to gold, see 1035 to 1040 is the upper level, maximum 1050, and then it would generally come to the 1780 1770. So you can see this is a kind of huge uh, triangle that is being formed, and it has been range bound since May, June, July. See, from May, June, July, it has been broadly from 1750 to 1830, the very small range, and it is going on and on and on. So there is no specific view apart from that. You can try buying near 1780, and possibly with a 2-3% move, you can try to sell out. But this kind of trades, I don't know how long they will work out. There need to be a breakout in either side. Okay. 17,000 put as a hedge for your portfolio. So if you have 8 lakhs in your portfolio, so buy 1 lot for that. So if you have 1 CR portfolio, buy 12, 13 lots of that. Tarun Vijay 5 EMA, high, low EMA, you will get this in the recording. I have explained this. You can see the recording. You will get that part, sir. Okay. In crude international chart starting 4:30 and MCX starting 9 this means 30-minute difference. No, this is not 30-minute difference. This is 4 hour 30 minutes different. The charts are not matching. Obviously, the charts won't match because our market also closes at 11 and the global market keeps on trading till I think 3:30. So our market won't match. They trade 23 hours and we trade only 15 hours a day. So I have explained in this in the webinar, sir, that how even if there is a difference, how to take position. Please rewatch it. Okay. Can we buy gold bees when market is uncertain? But gold is also not moving. So what you will do by buying gold bees? If is gold bees moving? If the gold itself is in a 3-4% range, sir, what is the lot size? The lot size of crude oil futures in India is 100 barrel. So if you go there, what you will get is that I'm going to the crude oil futures. See, I am towards the end of the session of mine, and I will hand over to Vivek, sir. So I just want to tell you that, see, so this is 6841 into 100, that is close to 6,80,000. This is the lot size. Okay. So what I will like to tell you is that uh, and that try to trade a little bit less during this point of time, because equity market is not suitable at this point of time. Have low volumes, take very less number of trades. That is the way to go. To explain the concept that I discussed, see here the prices are continuously closing above 5 period high EMA, 5-day high EMA. So the market is in a steady up move, and when the opposite will happen, price would be generally closing below this 5-period low EMA. There will be a general down move. Now, when prices are generally closing within this band, within these two band, that time it is a little bit of range boundish, like here, like here, like here, like here. So these are the times when, if it is an index, it is good to sell index option. So right now I will hand it over to Vivek, sir. Hi, sir. Are you here? And thanks everyone for attending the session. I will like to hand over to sir. Are you there, sir? Just a second. Sir will join in a second.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah, thank you. So, sorry, I'm not keeping all that well. So I was kind of in a rest mode. And I'm going to take session for 15 minutes. I just thought that it's important for me to take the session. And thank you, Souradeep, for giving your macro view about the market. Let me just also chip in with my view and how I'm looking at things and what you should do, what you guys should do to work on this kind of a market scenario. So let me just share the screen. Okay. So the macro of the market, as discussed on last Friday, the market is pretty much giving a very mixed signal, confusing signal because of this guy, dollar index. Dollar index is ideally, dollar index should have shown strength because the yield curves, which are directly impacting the dollar movement, because the yield curves are strong because of the inflation and other things in the US markets, and globally inflation is a big concern right now. So dollar in this scenario always goes up and risky assets go down. So this is something which is given, and possibly the market is definitely not strong, and at this juncture there is a high probability of market correcting more. Okay, but having said that, this is something which everyone knows, and I am not surprised that people will not know this because everywhere we know that this is happening. My only thing is that market is used to giving surprises, and the fact that everything is set for market to fall, possibly market will not fall. Now, the only indication which will help you to know whether market will fall or not is going to be the dollar. So keep very, very close track of dollar, what kind of action dollar is showing, whether there is a fair bit of strength coming or dollar is still kind of lackluster, staying in a range, then probably Nifty will see some kind of a recovery. But do I see market doing big things? Definitely not, because I think election is going to be the one which will drive the movement of market. अगर यूपी इलेक्शन में सब कुछ ठीक रहा तो मार्केट हो सकता है ऑल टाइम हाई तोड़ दे, एंड अगर कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया तो डेफिनेटली we can see fall in the market to certain levels. So important level is 16900, which was the previous low, and if market has to fall, the next level would be around 16,000. This is 15900 also. सो मार्केट में अभी आज की डेट में फिर जैसे लास्ट वीकेंड भी मैंने बोला था, इस वीकेंड में भी देयर इज नो सर्टेनिटी ऑफ वेयर द मार्केट इज गोइंग. दिस इज द वर्स्ट टाइम टू मेक मनी फ्रॉम मार्केट. लास्ट 2 साल में जितना भी लोगों ने कमाए हैं, possibly lot of money will be lost if you put an effort, too much effort to participate in the market. But having said that, हम लोग जीरो करके तो नहीं बैठ सकते हैं because we don't know when the market will revert. So we don't want to square up our position. हम जीरो नहीं कर सकते हैं. So we continue to do what we were doing, but we limit our position to limited capital because abhi risk reward ratio in terms of participating in the market is not favorable. Okay, so we continue to participate in the market with our stock relative strength theories, and with that theory, wherever we are finding some kind of a negativity inside a stock, we are squaring up our position and getting out of that stock. So let me share with you this model which I'm using to square up, and most of you would be knowing it because you must have attended my webinar, and if you have not done that, please do attend my relative strength webinar. And when I'm discussing stocks in social also, it is around the model which I have. Okay, so the only new addition which I've done and which I've shared in social also is the relative strength 21 period I've added. Why have I added? Because one problem which I was observing with this, that even though the stock was remaining strong, 2 hourly chart was giving me exit in a stock, and then I had to also enter the stock again when the 2 hourly becomes positive. That was adding a layer of transaction in my system. So I thought that I don't want to incur transactions so many times because I don't have so much time in the market. So what I what I decided was that let me use a smaller time frame end of the day RS. So this 55 period, and this is still on the testing mode, okay? So I'm just sharing this with you to share my thought process. This 55 period RS, which is the one which I use on a EUD basis. Now I'm also looking at 21 period RS in conjunction with the 2 hourly chart. So any stock where my 2 hourly chart is giving me exit signal and 21 period chart is also giving me exit, then I'm exiting that stock because that stock is clearly is going to underperform for some time. Let us see a few examples. So for example, this stock KCP, okay. Now I didn't have the position here, but I'm just giving you an example that this stock showed a negative RS 2 hourly chart here, okay. So I should have exited, but I didn't exit. Why? Because 21 period 2 hourly is still green, okay. When is the right time to exit this stock? When 21 period RS is also less than 0, okay, and 2 hourly is also less than 0 and super trend is negative, which is basically this price. So here I would have exited my trade. Okay, let's see some other stock. Zomato, we don't have data. Oh, we do have the data. Okay, it's more than 55 periods, so we do have the data. Now look at this Zomato. Now Zomato on a 2 hourly basis has been a negative stock, so we could have actually exited way earlier here, but we didn't exit according to this model. Although I didn't trade Zomato, I'm just giving you a hypothetical example that Zomato we should have exited here, but we didn't exit here. Why? Because 2 hourly was positive, but when we saw 2 hourly also becoming, sorry, when we saw 21 period becoming negative, which was, and 2 hourly also was negative, we could have exited here, which is around 145 level. Okay, so in a relative strength model you enter. So now this is a good time because you will be getting good stock opportunities to enter when market falls like this. uh, you are in cash because you have sold few stocks at the high level, and you wait for the stocks to start showing the quantum of strength, momentum of strength. How do you get those stocks? Typically what I do is, out of my stock universe of 100 stocks, I will see the stocks which are positive, and I will try to buy those stocks because they are showing strength. For example, VIP Industries, this is positive. Look at the stock, RS is positive, 21 period is also positive, and 2 hourly is also positive. So this is a stock where I am comfortable building position. Okay. So basically what I'm doing is a rotation from a weak stock to a strong stock. How do I identify the weak stock? By looking at the negative stocks which has come here, and how do I build the position in the strong stock? By looking at the positive stocks here. So what are the positive stocks? Let's see what are the positive. So Saregama, no, right now I'm not looking at it. This stock, Magnani Organics. So this is interesting. Look at this. Strong stock for long period of time. 21 period is also strong. See, every time it comes here, it takes a support. So it is also strong. 2 hourly is also strong. So yes, this is a strong stock where I can start building my positions. So the idea is that identify stocks where you have some fundamental conviction. Let's see CDSL, what is happening here. Okay, so CDSL, the stock showed weakness here, went 2 hourly, went below 0, but I didn't square up because 21 period was still above 0. So I'm still holding the stock. So identify stocks which are showing strength in 2 hourly chart and 21 period end of the day chart, and hold on to those stocks, and you will get many stock ideas now where you can build positions. This is a time to build position because it's not possible for us to predict the market, what is happening, क्या होगा, बहुत ही uncertain zone है. So it's preferable that you stick to your basics of looking at stocks. And if you are scared of market right now, then I suggest probably reduce your capital deployed in the market. and trade with lesser capital in these stocks. Once we have better breakouts in the market, that means a better clarity on where the market potentially can go, probably you can increase your capital allocation. Right now, it's not a bad idea to restrict your capital allocation. I hope this was useful, and obviously Shorodip is always useful for our analysis purpose. So happy trading, guys, and unfortunately not well so much. I had a, I don't know what has happened. I had a backache which is not going. So I'm trying a lot of things, but unfortunately, I think the previous cycling session has kind of been a very unproductive one for me. So I hope I recover soon. So anyways, I sincerely wish that you guys go through this rough patch of the market. It's not one of those great market. So people who have made money last 2 years probably will lose some money. Don't try to overstretch yourself in market, and people who have come in the market right now, do mock trading. Don't be in a hurry to trade. This year is not going to be a great year for active traders. Maybe for first quarter at least, till the election results is out. It's better to use right current market for learning purpose rather than for the earning purpose. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Sorry about it to kind of wrap up it early today, but I hope you're finding value in these discussions, and hope you will continue your learning curve with us as TMP member or as StockEdge Club member. And if you're not part of the club yet, I would seriously suggest go and visit stockedgeclub.com. It's a great platform which we have built for your learning and earning needs. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Take care, guys. Bye bye. Take care.